Hey guys, in today's video we're going to compare the Sauer P365 X Macro to the newest P365, the DH3 AXG, and ultimately help you decide if you already have one of these, is it worth upgrading to the DH3? So before we get into it guys, I just want you to know both of these are empty. There are no magazines or rounds in these. These are safe and ready for us to film. If you guys appreciate 2A content like this, please do me a favor, like this video, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. We truly appreciate you helping us grow. So to start this off, let's talk about the similarities. There's actually fewer similarities than there are differences. So the overall thinness is really what makes the P365 a great concealed carry option. It doesn't print as much, it sits nice and close to the body, and it actually adds to less weight. Another similarity is they are both optic ready. They're both cut for the RMSC footprint. That is one of the most common optic footprints you have for most carry weapons these days. Another thing they both have in common is the trigger. They are nothing tremendous, but they are not bad. Has a little bit of take up, solid wall, squishy break, decent reset. Like I said, it's not the worst trigger, it's not the best trigger, but they do have that in common. Another similarity they do have is they both come standard with 17 round magazines, which for a carry is definitely plenty capacity. Now the differences is really what sets these two apart. Obviously when the X Macro came out, this really improved the 365 platform in general. And now you have the newest, biggest, nicest version, which is the DH3 AXG. So starting off, the most obvious difference is the slide length and the barrel. So this slide also does have lightning cuts to reduce the overall weight of the slide. This has a 3.7 inch barrel where the X Macro is only a 3.1. If you don't get the comp version in the X Macro, you can then get a 3.7 inch barrel. But for today, we're talking about both comped versions, or what they call a comp. The next big difference is you'll see on the DH3, you do get a mag well down here. It is a nice feature. It does help with reloads. But when it's coming to carry, that might be something that may print a little bit more. It all depends on your particular setup and how you like to wear your holster. This does sit a little bit shorter, not having that mag well. But overall, I do personally like having a mag well. Another difference, and I'm not sure if this has changed because I got this X Macro 3 years ago, you will notice the iron sights on this are quite a bit taller than the iron sights on the DH3, which actually made it harder for me to find an optic that I could actually co-witness with. I'm now going with the Romeo X Sig-Lock Compact. I do like it so far. I'm gonna get a review of this pretty soon, but I had a previous optic on here where the deck height was not tall by industry standards, but it was too tall to co-witness. One small difference that they did make as well is they made this slide release button a little bit more extended. It's not a dramatic change, but it does definitely improve it. And the last most noticeable difference is obviously this AXG has an aluminum grip module, which allows you to swap out grips should you want to. And this is the standard all polymer. So you can also get the X Macro Comp as their Legion. That will come with an aluminum grip. And you can get the regular DH3, which has a polymer grip. For today's comparison, I actually did swap these at the range. So I shot them as you see them and also swapping the slides to really get a full spectrum of how they shoot with different weight. Because obviously the weight of the grip is going to affect the shootability. When it comes to shootability, we're ultimately talking about the felt recoil and the muzzle rise. So the less a gun recoils, the quicker you can get back on target, the faster you can shoot a gun. So let's talk about what makes more of a difference. Is it the slide length and the barrel length, or is it the actual weight of the grip itself? So I will say, in shooting all four variations, we'll talk about the least performing to the best performing. The least performing was definitely the X Macro Comp with the polymer grip. Now, one thing I will say is notable is the polymer grip has less recoil felt in the hand, but it does have more muzzle rise because there's not as much weight down below. I won't say that this is a bad shooter by any means. I carried this for 2 years. I think the X Macro Comp is still a great gun. Taking it one step better, I noticed once I threw the metal grip on there, it did improve. And the next one we did was the DH3 slide on a Palmer grip, which I will say was just marginally better than the X Macro Comp on the metal grip. The longer slide, in my opinion, creates for a softer shooting experience. And obviously the best shooting of them all is the combination of the DH3 with the AXG, because you have the longer barrel, the longer slide, and the metal grip for that extra weight. And in this situation, I actually swapped out the grips, which added even more weight than the standard, but we'll talk about those in a future video. So to be completely honest with you guys, I don't think the performance difference was as much as I expected. This is not a comparison where I'm taking like a standard Glock to a 2011 and the shooting difference is vastly different. There is a difference for sure, but the percentage that I would say is different is not nearly as much as I expected it to be. So my final thoughts on which of these is better ultimately comes down to what your use case is. If you want something lighter weight for concealed carry that you still have plenty capacity and plenty capability, I think the X Macro is plenty good. I really don't think there's anything wrong with this gun. I think it shoots great, and I think it serves a great purpose in that role. Now, if you want the ultimate shooting experience in a 365 platform, and you don't mind the extra weight, that's where I think the 365 DH3 AXG really comes in handy. As of right now, this is definitely the best shooting 365 on the market. Now, you're probably wondering, if you have an X Macro, is it worth upgrading to this? I mean, it really depends on what you prioritize and what you're going to use it for. Do I think the performance gain itself is worth it? I don't think so. I don't think I could consciously tell you guys to go spend your hard-earned money to get this and that it's that much better. Is it better shooting? Absolutely. Is it a complete game changer? It's not, unfortunately. You still have the same trigger, you still have the same dimensions. You're just getting a softer shooting gun. Now, if you want the absolute best version of a P365, and maybe you don't have one yet, or you wanted to get one and you just want the best one, this hands down is the way to go. The DH3 AXG, it won't disappoint in that regard. Now, if you guys can think of any firearms that would also be comparable to these two and you want to see me get one and do a future video, drop it in the comments below. I'm always curious what you guys have to say about what you think is a better shooter or is something you'd like to see me shoot, especially something in the carry field. If it has a comp, even better. Drop it down below and I'll see if I can get my hands on one for a future video. And as always, guys, if there's something I may have missed or if there's something you particularly are curious about with either one of these, drop it in the comments below and I'll get right back to you guys. That's all I have for today's video. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We have plenty more videos coming. Peace.